What's up guys, and welcome back to Morecambe, and we're into transfer deadline day, made it all the way back through to January, and there's a few movements have happened. Vestergaard from Borussia Mönchengladbach to Inter Milan for 24 million, interesting deal, not much to say about that. Jedevai from Arsenal to Southampton's a bit of an interesting one, because he's only 25, I'm pretty sure in saying at the moment, so Arsenal have sold a pretty good young goalkeeper, centre back, I'm pretty sure he is, to Southampton for £27 million, which is quite cheap. And Kevin Trapp from PSG to Real Madrid for £37.5 million. Nothing massive, really. The Trapp deal's a bit of an interesting one for me, really, because I don't really know what Real Madrid's situation with their goalkeeper is, given that they've had to sign Trapp. Right, we're going to have a look. We're going to have a wee spy, see what's going on with Real Madrid's goalkeeping situation. Yeah, it just seems like a bit of an interesting deal. Like, I don't know why Trapp would be a better alternative. Yeah, that's a decent deal. Decent bit of business. Given that Keylor Navas is now 34 and he's 84 rated, so, I mean, he's not going to get much better. He's not going to get any better, really, I don't think. Trapp, only 30, got the potential. Goalkeepers keep going for a while, so probably might be able to get a bit higher than that, but he's already better than Navas, so it's a decent piece of business. I'm really surprised, though, that Real Madrid didn't capitalise on the whole De Gea situation that happened at the start of the season, where Tottenham managed to, well, this time last year, Tottenham managed to swoop in and take De Gea from Man United on a free because they didn't renew his contract. So I'm kind of surprised Real Madrid didn't capitalise on that and try and get him then, but they've got themselves a decent goalkeeper, I suppose. But given that it's Real Madrid, you would expect them wanting the best in the world, and he's not the best in the world, so... Yeah, so there hasn't been that much going on in the transfer window, to be honest. We have been slightly busy. Not much of it shows, but we have had a few things happen. I brought in this Kosic, probably. I brought in him because we have sold Davis, Ethan Davis, who we've had for a very long time. I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying he came through our youth team. Was a right back originally. I started just then playing him as a centre back because he had the ability to play there. He wasn't very quick, which was a bit of a downside, but he had a good defensive ability and he was 6'8". So as a centre back, he did very well. But he did have the ability to play as a right back, which was very nice to have somebody who could play there, and then if need be, take Michelin off and bring in somebody else in centre back and move Davis out there, or play Davis out there when like off the bench or something. So he was very good for that sort of situation. But a decent deal came in from I think it was Crystal Palace again came in from, and they offered. I think they started off offering about 14 million, which was around about what he's valued at, but I countered it about 20. They said no. I said, like, I countered again at a 20. They said, well, they upped their offer to like 16 eventually, and then I countered 18 and they accepted that, so I got 18 million. By the time the board had taken its bit, I think we only got about 13.5 for him, but that's not bad value, given that although he was potential was really good at one stage, it kind of disappeared. He just didn't really keep that level up, and this VS Boas boy came in and has overtaken him very quickly. So we brought in this guy who was a free agent, 72 rated, only 20 years old, 6'3". Again, he has the ability to play as a centre back or a right back, so he's very useful in that situation. Very good ball control. His curve and crossing are quite good as well, so that's what you kind of want from a full back, or a wing back more. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Good acceleration, sprint speed, stamina, all pretty decent stats. So yeah, pretty happy with that. I think he's got very good potential. It looks like he's got good potential. Yeah, but apart from that, there hasn't been much happened really. Oh yeah, actually, this guy, Augustinsson, Swedish lad, I brought in at the end. Actually, I brought him in maybe a month into the season after the summer transfer deadline. I brought him in because I was just flicking through all the free agents and I came across this boy. And just look at the stats. I mean, look at the stats. 95 sprint speed, 99 acceleration, agility, balance, really good. The one slight issue with him, and this has been alleviated very slightly over the past 4 or 5 months of me training him non-stop, but his finishing. For a striker, his finishing was atrocious. He had the most amazing technical ball control skills you've ever seen. He would just skin past people, really, so easily, he would just go past people. But then he would get in front of goal and he would send it row Z. And I mean, that was a compliment. Most of the time the ball would go out of the stadium. It was that bad. His finishing, I think, was only 65 to begin with. I've got it up to 72, but for a striker to have finishing that bad was absolutely atrocious. The one saving grace is he's only 21, so he's got a lot of time to develop. But as you can see, he's 83 rated already, and that's all just because of his ball control skills and stuff like that. So, yeah, he looks like he could be something for the future. I kind of play him. I do play him as a striker, but I see him more of a sort of midfield, winger position with that pace and that ball control ability. So I think he's a bit more suited to that sort of position, especially given that he can't finish for fucking shit. But anyway. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I brought in, I think. Yeah. I think that's all the business we did. That's pretty much it. That's everything we did. Well, it's not all the business we did, but it's all the business I'm going to talk about we did. So, we'll talk about something else that's happened when we get to that stage, probably in a week or two. But for now, that's pretty much everything. Yeah, everything I'm going to talk about this week. So we'll fire through transfer deadline day and see if anything's happened, or anything does happen in the next 9 hours. Right, so Sardar Azmoun, that's not what I wanted to do. Azmoun has moved to Juventus for £39.5 million. I'm pretty sure Arsenal have only had him for about a season, maybe a season and a half. Just popped up third in the transfer league, Çalhanoğlu from Bayer Leverkusen to AC Milan for £37 million. So a hefty deal. I'm kind of surprised nobody bought him earlier, to be honest, that he was still at Leverkusen after all that time. He must be getting on a bit now. He must be in his late 20s at least. No, he's only 26. He's only 26, so yeah, got themselves a decent player there. One who absolutely stunning free kick ability. That's pretty much as much as I know about it. 94 carve, his long shot's 90. What's his 94 free kick accuracy? So yeah, that's basically the main reason people buy Çalhanoğlu is purely for his free kick ability. I mean, he's got really good ball control and passing and stuff like that, but his physical side for a midfield, for a left wing, left mid player, he's not very quick. But that free kick ability is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, that's the main reason people buy him in their career modes. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised no teams bought him earlier than what's this, season 5 now. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Right, and we have reached the end of transfer deadline day. No other transactions had taken place in the final few hours. Well, loads of transactions took place, but nothing ridiculous. So yeah, that's pretty much it. £163,875,000 was spent on transfer deadline day, which is very low, but then again it is only a January transfer window, so wouldn't expect too much to go on, but there was some decent dealings happening. Just have a quick look over our youth squad, see what's going on here. Everything looking very tasty. This guy's not very tasty. This guy's definitely not very tasty. You can go to hell. Nah, I'll get rid of you as well. You're not very... Nah. No cutting it. No cutting it. If you're no 90, if you're no rated, expected to be at the higher end, 90, then... See, I'll let this guy off because his low potential's 82, so he's got ability to become pretty decent. But I tend to cut anyone who's whose upper potential isn't above 90, just because you find so many players that have got good potential that above 90 that it's pointless keeping ones that are less than that, because you'll usually find them. Actually, something I was going to chat about was the fact that if you're a couple of seasons into your career mode and you start getting players like VS Boas and Ducksworth turning up at teams, like players like Barroso and stuff who have really good potential, really young, made-up players, like players that are just kind of generated to fill the gaps from other players retiring. If you find, like, you start getting to the point where you start finding these sort of players who are really good, but they play for teams like Juventus or whatever, and like to buy them because they've got really good potential, Juventus and that are still looking for ridiculous money for them, like absolutely ridiculous money. Go and look through all the free agents. Like, you'll be absolutely amazed the number of players that I've found through the free agents. Like VS Boas, Ducksworth, that Kosic boy, and Augustinsson. All of those I found in the free agent section, which like is absolutely ridiculous, given that I just bought them just to fill gaps. Like, I just had, I had an injury problem or something, so that's why I got Ducksworth. I think the same thing happened when I bought VS Boas. I got him off the free agent list because I think I had an injury problem. Like, I can't remember who it was, but somebody, I think it was Davis, got injured. And I was like, right, I need to find somebody who can fill the gap. And I wasn't in a transfer window, so I couldn't buy anyone. So I just had to go through the free agents, and you'll be absolutely amazed the number of good players there are in the free agents that, like, you can pick up for, like, a few grand a week and have the most amazing potential. I think some of my highest potential players are like these players that are free agents. Like VS Boas has really good potential. I'll go have a look at the potentials. But it's absolutely amazing the number of players that you can find who are free agents. Like VS Boas has potential to be special. I think that's the highest one. So I think he can make it to like 94. Like even higher than that. I think he can definitely make it to the 90s. And I just found him casually sitting in the free agent section. Ducksworth, apparently Man City are showing interest, which, well, I've already rejected a few offers for him, but again, he's got really good potential. Who else did I find in the Augustinsson, an exciting prospect, which again I think's like high 80s at the very least, like low 90s possibly. So that's another one I found. He obviously doesn't have very good potential, but again, like, you take the good with the bad, but I mean, he's still like, I think I'm only paying him like 15 grand a week, and he's 72 rated 20-year-old. He's going to get better. Like, guaranteed he'll get better. How good he'll get, I don't know, but it's amazing the number of players you can just find. Did I get him as a free agent as well? Possibly. I think I might have, no, actually, I think I bought him. But again, another one showing great potential. So, like, you find some really good players just sitting, doing absolutely nothing, looking for a club, and you can just wander up and be like, I'll take you for, like, 16 grand a week, or even less sometimes, like 4 grand a week, and you've got yourself somebody who could potentially be really, really good. So, yeah, it's definitely worth having a look through all your free agents, but it only really comes into its own once you've got a good couple of years into the season, into like your career mode, because that's when these sort of players start popping up in quite like high numbers. Like the first season or two, you'll struggle to find any made up players. After a couple of seasons, like 2-3 seasons, you'll start finding loads of them everywhere. So yeah, it's something worth looking at. Actually, I completely forgot to show the table. We're sitting top. Yeah, I actually put my difficulty up recently. I was on world class, put up to legendary, which is the highest, and yeah, it's not done my blood pressure very much good, and I don't know if I'll keep it there, because I just get so frustrated playing against teams, because putting it onto that difficulty, it doesn't really make it makes it a bit more difficult, but it's just really frustrating, because all they do is they just keep the ball really well. Like, they just run around with the ball constantly, pass it really quickly. Like, it speeds up their passing, putting it from world class to legendary. It just speeds up their passing. And they just sit there and, like, just completely defend the ball for days. Like, you just stand there, you go up to them with, like, a decent player, and you just walk up to them trying to get the ball off them, like somebody like Ndidi, who's now 86 rated. Like, you know, you wander up to somebody who's not that great, and you're trying to get the ball off them, and they're just standing there jockeying the ball, like defending the ball, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're just trying to get it off them. You try to do double pressure, and you've got another player standing on the other side, just standing there watching as you're trying to pressure him from behind, not doing anything to try and get the ball off him. And it's just frustrating because you just end the game with like 20% possession because it's just so hard to get the ball off the other team. But anyway, yeah, we are sitting top by only a few points. Newcastle have we were a bit further than that. Newcastle have closed the gap. Man City sitting quite well. Again, Chelsea down 14th. Liverpool just above them, a point above them, with a goal difference of 0. Liverpool, really? What are you doing? Man United as well, a goal difference of 0. What is that? What is that table? That is absolutely outrageous. Man United have won 9 games, lost 9 games. Chelsea have done the same. Won 7, lost 7. Like, what? Just to put this in perspective, Man United have 3 90-plus rated strikers. They've got Griezmann, Lukaku, and Dybala. All of them above 90, and yet they still can't get out of 10th, into the top half of the table. They should be fighting for the title. They won it last season. They should be fighting to win the title this season with a team like that. They've not lost anyone, really. They've still got all of their team. Pogba's still there, Mkhitaryan, they've got really good defence. Yeah, they lost their goalkeeper in De Gea. But that one loss of De Gea shouldn't be enough to completely nullify what is effectively a 300 rated strike force. And then they can bring Suarez off the bench as well, who's getting on a bit but still good rated. It's just absolutely outrageous. Chelsea have every good defender in the book, so they have no excuse for conceding goals. I mean, yeah, they've conceded fewer goals than they've scored, but 25 goals conceded when you've got Newcastle sitting at second top with 17 goals conceded all season. But yeah, that's FIFA for you after a few years. Just makes absolutely no sense. Crystal Palace still doing very well up there. Sunderland as well doing well up there. Our goal difference is actually really good, but the vast majority of that goal difference does come down to the fact that we've got Donnarumma in goal. He's made some absolutely stunning saves this season, ridiculous goal, game-saving saves. So yeah, I'm really, really happy getting rid of Cardinal, or whatever his name is. I recently discovered I've been pronouncing it wrong. But anyway, yeah, so getting rid of him and bringing in Donnarumma was an absolute brilliant piece of business, if I don't say so myself. We have been knocked out of a cup, actually, or both of them, possibly. Oh no, we got knocked out of the FA Cup, I'm pretty sure. No, we didn't. We got knocked out of the EFL Cup. The FA Cup we're still in. I don't think we've not reached the round of 16 yet in the FA Cup. In the EFL Cup, though, we got knocked out by Liverpool on away goals. It was a 1-1 in the first leg, and in the second leg, I just couldn't score. Liverpool. This was during the phase of playing on Legendary. Liverpool were just absolutely sitting there holding the ball for ages, and I just couldn't do anything. I literally couldn't do anything about it. Lost the game. Well, drew both games, but lost 1-1 on away goals. So yeah, we got knocked out of the EFL Cup. The FA Cup, we are still in it. I think we just played. Who did we just play? Barnsley, I think it was. Just today, effectively, or yesterday, we played Barnsley and managed to win it 2-1 in the end. It was actually quite a close game. We were one up for ages, and then they scored with 5 minutes to go. And then for some reason kept pushing, trying to get the second goal to win the game, and a counter-attack with Demarai Gray passed across to Barroso and stuck it in the net. So that was unfortunate for them, but we managed to progress. So yeah, I'm going to end the video because I've been absolutely chatting for far too long about loads of shite that has nothing to do with what's actually happening in our career mode. But nevertheless, we are doing pretty well in the career mode. We will meet again in a week, possibly at the end of the season, depends how much I actually play up until then. If not, it'll be like sort of March, end of March time. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you then. So until next week, cheerio.